Very good patisserie, I'm sorry.
Good evening. You're probably just getting the last
And I want you.
part of Russell singing. I don't know what he's trying to sing. I think it's a bit of Chicago. So it's pretty good to get it from that. If it was. Hope everybody's had a good week. Been a hot week, isn't it? Woo! How hot was that this week? But hope everybody's had a good one. Uh, Back to normal in the shop. Very hot. Seems to have gone dead about 2 o'clock. I take it everybody's come down and done their shopping before then. But hope you've all enjoyed the sun. Once again, I don't know what we're going to talk about tonight. We never do, but I'll go down some rabbit hole. I've got a few suggestions. So we'll go through that of what I've looked through this week. No doubt everybody else. Can just anybody let me know that they're live? I'm not seeing any comments. If you could just tell me you can see and hear me all right. Don't know if I've got the echo tonight. I think we've got quite a few people on holiday. I know Mads won't be listening. I don't think Ryan will be listening tonight because they're all on holiday. And I haven't seen anything to tell me.
Here I come, here I come, here I come. Oh.
Anybody telling me that they can see me or hear me yet?
Headphones on.
So I'm not sure.
Headphones on. Comments up. Let me log out of that.
Is there anybody there, please?
Yeah, you got 2 watchers.
However?
Yeah.
Very good. That's good.
I think everything's been booted out. Let's do a restart on that. Internet's gone funny.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, a bit odd.
I think I'm all right. Yeah, seems to be. It must be your end because this is working all right this end.
We wouldn't be on air.
Can you see
we're connected?
Flugelbinder. Phil. Flugelbinder is in. I can see. Evening, Phil.
Right. I am connected.
Oh.
But I can't see anything else. Facebook ain't loading up. So I can't tell you. Well, when I know we're live on YouTube, so Facebook is a totally different story. Because I couldn't tell you. I haven't had no notification come up either.
Hold on. Try this.
Yeah, we're on. We're on. But we're not getting the interaction.
No, we're not.
From if anybody on Facebook is watching, can you give us I don't know if I'm seeing comments from Facebook. So if you're on Facebook, I've had a text message but to say I am live, but we're not seeing comments on Facebook. So let's have a look. If there's anybody watching on Facebook, please can you comment? I think there's an issue with Facebook because I can get it on my phone, but I can't seem to get it anywhere else. And I don't think it's streaming it into here. Hi, guys. We are just having some technical issues at the moment. Just hold fire. If you are there on the Facebook and could really do with a comment.
There on the Facebook.
See, I'm live, but the Facebook is not. I'm not getting anything. We can't see a live feed on Facebook. I know some people are. I'm seeing it, but I think there's an issue with Facebook at this present time. Now I'm getting.
Yeah, I've just commented on Facebook. It hasn't come through, is it?
So we are live, but
yeah, I can see Jane on there. I can see Steve.
Why are the comments not coming through?
No idea, mate.
Why are the comments not coming through? Let's have a look, shall we? Can I click on anything? There's definitely an issue with Facebook at the moment.
But
because
I can see him on Facebook here, though.
Yeah, but there's an issue. There's definitely
Maybe not.
It's not loading up. Facebook is not loading up, and I don't know why.
I can see you.
Right, guys, we're going to start the broadcast over again. So we're going to leave this just for a minute. So if you are watching, we will be coming back, but we're going to end this broadcast and we're going to go again. Okay, so please you're going to end this and then we'll be back in a... Oh, we're here. Oh. Facebook's kicked in.
Right, okay, we're here.
Right, Facebook has just this minute kicked in.
Hello,
right, and look at it. So, Facebookers, if you're listening on Facebook, can you comment again for us? I think there's a major issue with the Facebook, but let's have a look. We'll see if this kicks in. Let's see if this works. I know there's a couple of minutes delay. So, any Facebookers, comment now. Comment. Here we go. That's it. That's what I like. We seem to be kicking in just a little bit now. Right, let's go.
Yeah, cheers. We're there.
I order you to cease any and all supernatural activity and return forthwith to your place of origin or to the nearest convenient parallel dimension.
Whoa. Just hold up 1 minute there. It's not who you're going to call, but it's who you're going to listen to. And if you ain't afraid of no ghost, stay tuned for the EGH Paranormal Talk Show.
It's all a little bit kooky. It's all a little bit weird. But I do think we are live and exclusive on Pulse Talk Radio, Facebook and YouTube. But I could be totally and utterly wrong at this present time. I really couldn't tell you what is going on, how it's going on. But I do hope we are live. And I know people can see us, but I do believe that they've been having issues with the comments coming through. So I can now see people waving at me and saying hello. So welcome, one and all, to the EGH Paranormal Talk Show, live and exclusive on Pulse Talk Radio, Facebook and YouTube. And you know what? That was a bit of a weird one because Facebook still isn't working my end. I can't get Facebook. But I know they're there, but I can't get Facebook to load up this end. So I know there is an issue with potentially my internet and Facebook.
Right. Okay.
So what is actually going wrong? Don't know. But it could be a very short-lived show if we can't get the comments to come through because we rely on comments to come through. So there seems to be a massive issue at the moment. I don't know what is the issue. it just seems a bit weird.
Perhaps there's a ghost in the system.
It definitely feels like a something, because I can't even get Facebook to activate on my area. And by the looks of it, what's the time? 7:51. There's been over 1,200 reports of Facebook has gone down. So
I mean, it's still working because I've just come in.
yeah, but there is an issue with it. So
Okay. I can't even spell, look.
yeah. So we'll just have to bear with it. If it does disappear and go down, you can see there's a slight issue because it's coming up with all the cracked no pictures. So it's not linking in to the Facebook very well, I believe. So who knows? Who knows what is going on? But as you say, there is a ghost in the system. Very, very apt for today. What are we going to talk about? Who knows? Who knows? It's a paranormal show. Where can this link to? Where can it go to? I really don't know tonight. So we'll open it up to questions. But, I want to sort of talk about, do you feel that there is a link between dreams and the spirit world? Okay, this is going to be the topic to start off with tonight. Do we think that there is a link between dreams and the spirit world? Because we have lucid dreaming, we have nightmares, we have loads of different sort of dreams. And I'm a strong believer that the dreams that we have are virtually your spiritual side telling you and how we can interact with ourselves. I think it's spirit telling us how to move forward. I don't know what your take is on it, Simon.
I believe it is. I believe there is a link because you get woken up at always a certain specific time when the two are meant to be close together, the spirit world and the earth world. That's the time I always seem to wake up. I personally keep a dream book because I think it's good to look back on. So yeah, I do think they're linked. Whether they guide me, sometimes they guide me. Yeah, sometimes they guide me. But sometimes I think they just, I don't know, pull me back into line also. Just make me think again. So yeah, that's my view on it. So yes, I do think there is a link between dreams and the spirit world.
So I know I was talking to Jane yesterday about dreams, and I've been having sort of quite vivid dreams about a location that Jane's partner works at, which they'll be in a few weeks' time. We'll be heading over there to have a look. And there's certain things that happen within my dreams that I can't really understand. And with dreams, we know when we're going into a dream because you do that thing where you wake up, you step down a step or you fall down a hill or whatever, and you wake yourself up. That means you're going into a delta wave, I believe. Yeah. I think it's a delta wave. So we have to, watch what we get doing. But recently I've been having this dream of what goes on.
Nope. Seem to have lost Russ from the feed. Don't quite know what happened there, but he was just going to tell us about his dream. So can everybody still hear me? I take it that Russ will be coming back on. No, Heidi, I think we've got a lot of problems on Facebook at the moment. We've just lost Russ I don't know if anybody can still hear me. Thanks, Jane. Cheers. But I take it Russ will be trying to work his way back on. Thanks, Gay. So that's what we were going to talk about, his dreams in the spirit world. And Russ was just going to get into his dream that he was going to tell us about. But I think we're going to have to... he's coming back.
We definitely have lost the feed from Facebook. Okay, we've lost the feed from Facebook, I believe. It keeps dipping in and out my end as well. It could be my end problem. I'm not going to... Russ wasn't meant to tell his dream. And where was I?
You kept dreaming about this place, a location with Jane this week.
So, and it is where I'm walking down a pathway. I'm seeing the old, what is an old aircraft hangar, and I'm seeing children, but I can't get the children to turn and face me. No matter what I do. Pardon?
Where have we had that before, though? We've had that before, haven't we?
Yeah, but we've normally managed to do it. We've had it in Epping Forest, and then we've had it in Cash's Well.
And Canooden.
Yeah, but that turned its face, didn't it?
It did. But you're in a dream, aren't you?
Yeah. But you can control dreams.
Yes, yeah. I'm not saying
that. I've had the same sort of repetitive dream over and over and over again, and I can't get these children to turn their faces. I can see other children, but there is two that are, I won't say hiding in a bush because I don't think it's that freaky, but they are definitely they can't
calm in your dream.
Yeah,
you've got nothing from that picture, Jay. We're going to this location is going to be the picture that Jane sent us.
What, of the aircraft hangar with the gate?
Yeah, and so can anybody get anything from this?
Yes, but it's not direct. It's a walking distance from the yard that Jane's partner works.
Right.
But the only thing that is annoying me is that I can't turn around. I don't feel like I'm agitated with the children. I don't think I don't feel that I'm getting wound up. I just feel that I don't understand why I can't get them to turn. Now, if I feel it was anything bad, that's what I said to Jane yesterday. That I'm putting a lot of logic brain into it because of what's been and gone in the past with children and faces. And that's not necessarily right because I'm not at location. So I'm letting logic brain kick it in a tiny bit, and I shouldn't. But I feel I'm more frustrated and agitated that I can't get to them. And Jane gave me a little bit of a description of the location, and it's one thing I did try to do is I tried to walk further down the path and try and find another way in to front face the energies full on, but it still didn't work.
Okay.
We are getting a little some messages that people's Facebook aren't working. So if you do want to comment and you have YouTube for today, it might be better for you to head over to YouTube because I can safely say that the YouTube message we can see. I know Jane has just commented as well, which comes up with the Facebook logo. So there is some working, some isn't. We've got Christina, but as you can see, there is no picture that is associated with certain. So there is definitely a foul going on. So welcome to everybody. There's going to be a lot of people that we might not see, but please, if you do want to get a point across or anything, you have two options. You can send me a text message on, let me get the mobile number, 07 487 331688. That's 07 487 331688. Or you can email us at info@essexghosthunters.co.uk, and they are quite instantaneous through to us. Okay, so we are having a few technical issues with Facebook at the moment. And if you want to sort of interact with us, I think your best, safest bet on the platform is YouTube. Okay, everybody, YouTube. If you can. All right. But if you are on Facebook and your message does get through,
We'll answer it.
All right. And if people have got my personal number, then you can fire them that way. It's quite simple. All right. But I've done a lot of walking around that area to try and get to the other side, and there doesn't seem to be any what I would call entrances in. But it's a weird feel because I it's not like where I had this dream a few years ago, where I couldn't see its face. This was more towards me, this dream, but the ones with the children are facing away from me. So I'm looking at the back of their head. They've got hair, they've got features. I can see the hair and I can see their features. But I can't physically see their face.
But do you not find sometimes in a dream it is telling you to get to that place?
Yeah, and that's what
it could be.
Yeah, and I think that's what I've sort of more now. My left eye is in absolute agony. I haven't even done anything.
Stop rubbing it because that won't do any good either.
I'm going to leave my glasses off a minute. Cool.
We're going to start and do that then.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're talking about dreams and you're talking about spiritual. I often get a message in a dream that I've got to get somewhere.
Yeah. And that's what I said. We've made a.
I'll cure it. But if I don't get there, I'm not going to know the story.
Yeah, no, that's what I've sort of put this down to. But it's like I don't quite know, why that is going on. If you know what I mean, I don't generally.
And yeah, we've lost Russ again. By the looks of it, can you all still see and hear me? Apologies for this. It's madness at the moment. It's just not happening. Hope you can all still see me. So we're just talking about that while he's away. So yeah, I often have dreams where I get told to go somewhere. I need to be there, and I'm not going to get any information unless I actually visit that place. I've got one going on at the moment that is Radar Hill. Now, I've dreamt about Radar Hill. I know something about Radar Hill, but until I go to Radar Hill, I'm just not going to see it. So that first again come to me in a dream. Okay, Russ, you're back. I sort of ad-lib there. So
ad-lib all you want.
I was just saying about the Radar Hill experience. I'm dreaming that, but I'm not going to get the answer until I get to Radar Hill. And I keep getting nagged in other ways about that as well. So if you're saying to dream and spirit, that's a prime example of it. Because I dream it, they mess about in the shop because they want me to go there. Things like that. And I've spiritually connected also. But they actually want me at Radar Hill. For what reason?
Who knows?
Yeah.
And that's been coming in a dream as well.
Yes.
You know, I'm quite. I'm say I quite happily dream. Okay, I quite happily dream away, and
Yeah.
I've had nightmares. I've had bad dreams. I've had good dreams. I've had excellent dreams. But you know, there's some dreams that you wake up and you remember, and you feel that there's been a major what would I say draw to this dream, and throughout the day you've unraveled a few things from it.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. And I think that's the way that works.
And
In,
that's what I'm saying with the spiritual side of things. It does
Yeah.
feel like sometimes that the connection that you have with the world of spirit is quite strong within your dreamlike state.
Yes.
My theory on that is because you're going very deep down in your vibrations to match what maybe spiritual high vibrations have. Is there, there's been, for guys, if you can put in your comments, have you had a dream that has made you question or anything like that? Pop it in the chat if you want us to read it out. I'd quite happily read it out, and then we can try and make head nor tail of the dreams that we have.
He's gone again. So yeah, if you could, he will be back, obviously. But if you could just tell us about the dreams that you've had, anybody that's come across it, and it's been. Sometimes I wake up after a dream and it has been so real, and that's when I need to write it down, and I do write it down. I don't know where my dream journal is going to obviously be by the side of my bed, but then I do work on a dream journal here afterwards. So quite a lot. So it's worth having. Anybody in the comments? Do you have a dream book? Does anybody record their dreams? Whilst we wait for Russ, I hope you can still hear me. There's not even I'm sure now.
I'm back.
You're back.
I'm back. It keeps telling me Facebook has an issue. It's telling me, it keeps kicking me out to say Facebook is having technical. It's kicking me out on the on the trying to connect to Facebook.
Right. Okay.
All right. I think that's what it's trying to do. So I don't know how to disconnect it from Facebook. We'll just keep going. If it becomes too much of an issue, then we'll just have to waylay the show somehow. But we're trying to talk about dreams, but it's quite hard to talk about dreams if I keep getting kicked out. I do apologize. But
I've asked if anybody keeps a dream journal in the chat. That'd be a good thing to know. And I said last when you went missing, I said that I write down in the morning best I can, but I do follow it up. As I think during the day, and usually start working with it.
Have you ever had, we go from a nightmare?
Yes.
Do you have them? Do you have these now, or do you think this was more of a younger?
I don't have so many now, and it's more like reality or what's happened to somebody else wakes me up. So I don't know if I can explain that, but I'm going to try. So my nightmares now probably don't involve me as they did 40 odd years ago. My nightmares now involve me looking at other people, things happening to other people. If that makes sense. So I'll give you an example. Drowning. I've seen somebody drown, which wasn't a very pleasant experience, which has startled me and woken me up.
Oh, within a dream, right? Got you.
Within a dream, yeah. So a nightmare. I would call that a nightmare, for want of any other better word, because it's woke me up and think, oh shit,
Yeah, you know, when there's, but is you know, if you was to analyze that,
Yeah,
is that sort of spirit telling you to help somebody?
it could be. Yes, it could be.
I'm just, you know, sort of just trying to analyze a dream, or something within your day. You're going to have to help somebody, or there's a spirit energy that's trying to get your help.
Could be. Yeah, it could be. But that's what I would class as a nightmare now, within a dream.
Right.
The dreams I used to have, nightmares I used to have as well. I was running in a forest, and I couldn't run, and there was something behind me, and it was going to get me. And that's when I would wake up. I couldn't. Yeah, that's the sort of dreams I used to have, but I don't get them anymore. They seem to disappear.
Yeah, so this is the point I was trying to sort of go down here, and then just say, let's just read out some comments, all right, because it's going to be very sporadic. Because of Stuart has said there is a spike in outages on Facebook if you look at the Facebook page, so don't think it's you. That's good, all right, but it is keep booting me out. So just bear with us, all right, if it does. Jane, I can hardly even remember my dreams, although I know some are important. Do you have any suggestions that will help me remember them? It's quite a hard one, really, Jane. The only thing that I could maybe suggest to you is just saying before you sleep something to help you keep you, you know.
Yeah, spirit, can you let me know my dream in the morning, please?
Yeah, that'd be.
Yeah, that's what I would tell you to do, Joe.
Yeah. You know, if you've got any crystals, you know, a good, you know, amethyst, a good amethyst, a rose quartz around you, that could potentially work as well. So yeah, it's very, you know, yeah, there's nothing that I could say. I don't think you know, it is a practice dream. It's like a form of meditation in my eyes.
Yeah. And that part as before you go to sleep is very important as well.
Yes.
Before you drop to sleep. That, I think, is probably where I get one hell of a lot of information from. Hell of a lot of information.
Natalie has just joined us. Anyone, you know, which is horrible. I can't do it because there's no sign that is next to Natalie's name, but Natalie's from the Bug Hut, from White Elm Garden Centre. So if you've got any bugs that you want to, you know, get any information on, buy your bugs, buy your setups, anything like that, go and see Natalie at the Bug Hut, okay, over in Bicknacre. As you can see,
been very busy this week. Natalie and Jim have been very busy this week with lots of new tanks and things that they were cleaning up. So, yeah.
There's plenty for you to go and see.
Yes.
Only just joined you guys. I used to keep a dream journal when I was young. Was so interesting to interpret them. How did you used to do that, Nat? How did you used to interpret them? Did you use a book? Did you use, you know, your intuition? That'd be a good one.
Yeah.
Might see if I can join you at the hangar tonight, Russ. Try and dream away. Dream away. I
Put
don't
your intentions out there before you go. Before you're going to go into sleep, that you'll know that bit just before you're going to drop. Ask spirit to take you to that hangar, and as you're doing it, ask spirit to let you remember that dream. Also, let you remember what you're seeing.
And I see. I don't know the exact purpose of a dream catcher. I've heard of many people using dream catchers to, you know, keep the nightmares away
or keep the nice dreams.
That's it. You know, I suppose that's another way. I don't. If you for me, you can. I suppose you could put your intentions into what you would use a dream catcher for. You know, remember the dream catcher you brought me back from, and you had to come and remove it, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
But there was no reason for it.
Have you had another dream catcher since?
No.
Ah.
But then I don't know if the one by my door is a dream catcher. It's not a dream. Hold on, let me just.
You've
go and
got
get-
plenty in the shop.
Yeah, I know I've got plenty in the shop. But I have one of them. Don't know if you can see the chakras.
Yeah, this is dream catcher. Yeah, of course it is. Yeah.
You can't see it. It's got a green screen on it.
Yeah.
But do you think that's a?
Yes. Yeah, of course it is.
But I have that by my bed.
Right, okay. You don't need the dream catcher then because you got one. But it's all Native American, isn't it? That's where it comes from.
I thought it was like a native Indian thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I thought it. So, yeah, I suppose if we're calling that a dream catcher, but it's not what I would call a dream catcher. Like my, it's like the big one with a couple. Yeah.
But it can be beads. It can be beads. It can be feathers. It doesn't necessarily. It can be again. It's what you put your intentions into a dream catcher.
So what have you read about a dream? You said you read about this.
Yeah.
So what?
It was Native American Indians, and they used to use it to ward off evil spirits. I think the feathers did, and the beads kept the good dreams. It was something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was, but if you look at their dream catchers, what they used to make, it used to be feathers and beads. One did one job, one did the other job.
Right, got you. That makes sense. That to me makes perfect sense of how that would work.
Yes.
Two separate, so-called objects on something.
And if you look on most of our dream catchers, you've got beads and you've got feathers in the shop.
Right. Got you. So that would make sense. Natalie said, I use several books to interpret them. Then I become quite good at reading what things meant in my dreams. Certain colours would always appear that had certain meanings, etc. So you interpret yourself.
Why did you stop using the dream book? Was there any reason or just time?
Heidi, I used my intuition when dreaming. Some dreams are the situation I'll be. If God turns up in my dreams, I just listen and what to say. I know in my heart is true, a feeling of knowing. So trusting your intuition and that. Apparently, we are back on Facebook. I couldn't tell you, but I shall hit the button of Facebook. Yes, we are back on Facebook by the look of it.
Good.
Natalie had a baby.
Okay.
So I've got a couple of dream books that obviously I use, but I also use a little bit like I do my card readings as well. I have that sort of, the adaptation of things.
Yeah.
So that's what got loads of messages coming. You can see Facebook is now coming back because I've got pictures alongside people. So I do think Facebook is now becoming to come back online. So that'd be good. You're getting asked a question. Someone's just going to look this up for you. So what is the relevance?
Can't remember what.
And the feathers, what's their purpose? What do they do? See, my head flugel goes again to the feathers catch the bad dreams as like a spider web. If you could imagine it very, something catching on it and holding it in there, keeping it very, very safe.
It just says the feathers. The good dreams pass through and gently slides down to the feathers as a way of comfort to the sleeper. Beads. The beads symbolise the spider, the web, weaver itself, or they could symbolise good dreams that couldn't pass through the web.
Got ya.
So that's what that's saying.
So they, that would make sense to me.
Yes.
That would make sense that so the feathers catch the negative dreams.
Right. Okay. This I'm sure is what I read. The dream catcher meant to represent the spider's web, which catches the bad dream, and the centre hole in the middle is where the good dreams pass through down to the sleeper, to you. That's what I think I read on the. Yeah, that's what I think. I hope that answers your question, Phil.
There you go. All right. A new listener, Gay Saunders, is listening. Sanders. I have to use a recurring dream as a small child of standing in. All I can think of is a very long room that went to a pinpoint at the end. Everything was white, walls, ceiling, floor, bright lights, and on the ceiling, the view from the window were white outside and a single white chair. It's been bothering me for over 50 years. Wow.
That's a very.
To be fair,
you still have this dream now, Gay, or has it gone?
See, the white walls, the white ceiling, the white floor, bright lights on the ceiling, the view from the windows were white outside and single white chairs. Everything to me pushing forward on that is signalizing bright light, a pure white light.
Yeah, goodness.
We associate, the white light energies coming in from your guardian angels, and things like that. A very high power. And that's what would be, I would be saying to that if I was interpreting that dream. Natalie is listening, and she was talking about colours. So I wonder if Natalie has a take on the white colour within a dream as she was talking about colours. So for me, a white purpose, I think, sits above your crown chakra as a pure white. Maybe a spiritual energy that you have is very pure. Everything you walk through is very pure. Your ability to connect and speak to spirit could be very, very pure and natural, rather than maybe having to learn it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a natural gift there to separate yourself from the world that we are now to the world of spirit quite easily because of the whiteness. That's how that would signify to me.
Yeah.
Do you feel anything different to that?
I don't know if Gay actually connects or works with spirit in any way, but that could have been the point of that dream.
Yeah.
Or even now, perhaps you should be working with spirit.
That's what it feels like to me.
Yeah. That's guidance more than anything to be scared of.
Symbolize purity, So Maz is listening in Turkey. Good evening, Maz, and whoever she's listening with, all on their Facebooks. Sorry it's taken us a while to get connected, but we believe we are there. Not Gay doesn't have the dream anymore, but it's always been on my mind. Started when I was a toddler. Natalie's put exactly, Russ. White would symbolize purity, clarity, and peace.
Yeah.
So that would, how I felt about that. Gay streams sound like somewhere some people would go in their meditation with their guides.
True. Yeah, good point.
I do believe there was a view from the window where white and a single white chair. Maybe that's to you for invite a guide along or your guardian angel along to come and sit on that chair.
Spirit guy. Have you connected with spirit? Do you know your spirit guide?
Well, just that we know there's a delay, and we know there's
Yeah,
there's been issues with certain things of Facebook. So
and we've lost Russell again. Yeah. Oh, great. No, I don't. Gay, I'll wait till Russ comes back, but that's probably give it a go. Try meditation, and I will put yourself back in that position to where you were in that dream. See what happens. If you're not scared to do it, see what happens. Because again, white purity, it's good. It's all good. So I don't know how long he's going to be gone this time. There, he's come back again.
right, I should be back.
Right.
Hopefully, I should be back. I don't know what's going on. It kicked me off and said Facebook outage. We're having trouble with Facebook. No, Gay doesn't connect with Spirit.
No, I've gone back to that.
Sorry.
So, thank you. Never thought about. I said perhaps she should be trying to connect to a spirit guide. Perhaps go back to that dream now. If she's not scared to do it, go back to that dream and see what's there, because that's what could be missing.
Natalie has done a little work for you. I reckon it was like an offer of an awakening. Something was saying that you were close to connecting, but being young, probably didn't know how it worked, etc.
I really take that stance, Nat, as well. That's what I'm just trying to say to Gay. Perhaps now, if she's not scared to do it, try a guided meditation. Just try a meditation and go back to where she was. Go back towards that. Like that, in no way is a bad place that she was in.
No, I agree.
No
I 100% agree. It was too pure.
Yes.
It definitely feels far too pure.
Yeah, I agree with that.
The colours are too good. If I think we've, not to say that all colours are necessarily bad, but if you was to put a red in there, it'd be grounding and things like that. A lot of darks energies could be what it's all about, but let's say that is it's very, I would say it's very a peaceful area, and I think that's probably a safe place for you.
Yes.
Good evening, guys. Hiya, Terry. You all right, matey? That's given me some kind of peace.
Good.
It's our pleasure, Gay. It's just sometimes with dreams, that's what I say. Sometimes they can be important to you. Sometimes they do give you, reoccurring dreams are a pain in the arse, because you sort of get to a point where you want them to be.
Sometimes I agree with you, but sometimes not. I have a recurring dream that I love. So,
most of my recurring dreams are a pain in the backside.
Yes, but my recurring dream is bowling with somebody that.
Yeah,
that's almost always my recurring dream. I'll always be in the same sort of situation, not the same place, but always on a bowling green, always talking to him. So that is my lovely dream. That's my go-to dream.
Yeah, but is it reoccurring?
Yeah, it does recur. It does recur. Yes.
Yeah, but you say you go to that place. That's slightly different to a reoccurring dream, because it would, if it was a reoccurring, not to say it isn't, because that's not what I'm trying to say, but a reoccurring dream, let me put it in context for you. You'd be having the same dream that you've got 3 ends to play. You're 22-0 down.
It is, yeah, it usually is.
But it would be exactly the same conversation, exactly the same shot, exactly the same thing. It's like you walk every path exactly the same. It's like, I think we spoke, didn't we, probably about a year ago about my dream. Remember where I've got my feet in the dug grave
Yes.
with the what we called the Slender Man, wasn't it? Throwing dirt in. It never changed.
Right.
It
okay.
never changed. It was the same thing. I could draw you the dream to an absolute T of where people were standing and looking at me.
Right.
That's
The game never changes. The place does. That's what I would say.
right. Okay.
Okay.
So
The game never changes. The place does.
so that that could be a reoccurring dream, but your time to talk,
Yeah. Yes.
your peaceful time with someone to talk to,
Yes. Yes.
where you know best, where you can talk to that person.
Yeah. Yes, I get that.
Reoccurring dreams. There's been many reoccurring dreams that I've had where I would say around about 5 years ago, and it was only for about three weeks. And within that 3 weeks, I had the same reoccurring dream about 10 times. And it was very, very simple. There was 3 people around me, same people, I won't mention their names, and I was holding a baby. And it happened the same thing every night. It was in a church. The baby was alive. The baby hadn't passed or anything like that. And I could never understand it, but it only lasted for a good minute. We walked into the church. We walked up to the, what do you call it? An altar. Would you call it an altar?
Yeah.
And literally, if I was, if I was a priest, a vicar, whatever you do, I dipped the baby's head in the water. I hold the baby, hand it back to the 2 people. That happened 10 times over a 3-week period.
Right.
And I could never work it out. It has no, even now, it has no sense to it. It has no sense to it, but it was so reoccurring. I have written the dream down somewhere. I have it in a book somewhere because it got to the point where I just put same dream, because it was footstep by footstep, inch by inch. And then with the dream that I had when I was in the ground, the only thing that really ever changed was the sense there, because I think it was like, I think my logic brain took it to a dark place. Sometimes it wasn't a dark place, then it was a dark place, then it wasn't a dark place, because just listening to people trying to analyze it, and it just made no sense. Jane says, does your hanger dream change? Only if I control the dream. It will always start off the same way. I walk up the path, I get to the gate, the overgrown gate. I look at the window, and as I look to the window, behind the hanger comes round from what I would call the back left of the hanger 2 children. They walk backwards. They don't walk towards me. They walk backwards. And then that's where I can control my dream a tiny bit. But it will always open up the same way. And I always feel an energy that is looking out the window. That's it. But as you say, until I'm there, I can't judge anything to what it was. What's this? A bit off topic. We'll come back to that in a minute. All right. So we'll come back just while we're on to what we're staying on dreams for a minute. When we get to sort of around about 9 o'clock, we'll come back to that and we'll change the subject to that. But we'll touch more to it. All right. So you can answer that question in full around about 9 o'clock. All right, Deans. But we'll just stay on topic just for a second, because we're talking about dreams and you know, and that sort of stuff, and how does it connect to spirit. But reoccurring dreams, I see, for me, reoccurring dreams has a slight something you've got to sort out. That's
Yeah.
how they make me feel.
Yeah, I think a spiritual person is probably different to a non-spiritual person with recurring dreams. And the reason I say that, I think if it's a non-spiritual person, I think stress and other things could cause that. But I think if you're a spiritual person and you're connecting to spirit, it's gone again. If you're connecting to spirit, I would say then that it's different. That's where I believe it's different. So a reoccurring dream for a non-spiritual person is different to a spiritual person. That's my belief anyway. Because I think through dreams, spirit can give us messages, spirit can connect to us, spirit can tell us things that it needs to tell us before we engage. And sometimes I think it can show us danger. Where not to go, perhaps. Back again.
I'm back again, guys. I'm back again. I do apologize. This is driving me nuts. This is driving me nuts. Every time I disappear, it's just telling me Facebook is currently down. We are trying to resurrect her. We are now in communication with Facebook to fix the problem. Great. Thanks. Just don't keep kicking me out to tell me. It's quite simple, isn't it? What was we talking about? Did you change any subject?
I just said that I just think a non-spiritual reoccurring dream would be different to a spiritualist's reoccurring dream. In saying that, I think a non-spiritual reoccurring dream would just be probably a warning of stress, maybe tired as whatever, just bad sleeping habits, perhaps. Whereas a spiritual, when you've turned onto spirit, I think spirit's going to get a message to you any way they can. And if that comes in a dream, it will come in a dream. And if that's to reoccur until you go and sort it, then it will. And that's when I think your dream will stop.
Yeah, I do think there has to be.
I might be wrong. That's my opinion.
No, I do think with reoccurring dreams, there has to be some closure to it, because you can dream. And don't get me wrong, not every dream means something. We've all had random dreams.
Yeah.
We've all had random dreams.
Yes,
we've all had dreams that you'd make no heads and tails of. And I'll give you an example of that, okay? I'll give you an example of a random dream that I had that if anyone can analyze it, little task for you guys. Anyone listening to the chat, analyze this dream, okay? So I'm fishing on a fishing lake, okay? Quite happily, sun's out, nothing's wrong with anything. And the bailiff comes around. Okay? The bailiff comes around and says, sir, are you using barbless hooks or barbed hooks? I said, I am using barbless hooks because we're not allowed to use barbed hooks on the lake. And all of a sudden, Ruud Gullit, the football player, comes up with his diving mask on, with my hook in his hand, and says to the bailiff, he's telling the truth, sir. He has no barbed hooks. Drops the line and then disappears back under the water to check the next person's line. So if anyone wants to have an interpretation of that random dream, and that's random.
You weren't in Holland at the time, were you?
Nope, I was not in Holland at the time. I was not on any magic mushrooms or anything like that. But I just remember the most randomest dream. Now, there may be nothing to interpret. It may just be a very, very random dream. But if there is anybody out there that wants to have a go at interpreting it, and then have a go. I'll be doing my nut. He moved the bait off. that's what it felt like, Dean. But just it's what I'm trying to, not all dreams mean something. It may not mean anything, but if anyone can
It probably does mean something, though. Probably if you had a dream analyst here, they would analyse that hook, line, and sinker. Boom, boom.
boom, boom. But have a go, guys. Anyone in the chat on Facebook? I do believe we've got Facebook back up now. We're being told we are. Please let me know. Russ, can I have some of what you're having? It was a very long time ago. And I mean, I have never forgot this dream because of how random it was. But it did make you wake up and laugh. I remember it full stop. But then on the other hand, we have dreams that when you wake up, make you feel sick as a parrot. I don't know if anyone's had the dreams so realistic that you've won the lottery, and when you wake up, it ain't bloody real, and your whole world collapses around you for 10 minutes. You have these different types of dreams. So do I think all dreams mean something? No. But I think the ones that are important are the reoccurring ones, so to speak, because I do think you have to answer it for it to stop. And especially if you have dreams with people that people of like friends or something like that. That dream with Rude Hullet in, I don't know Rude Hullet, and I don't know the bailiff that asked me the question. There was no one in that dream I knew apart from them people. So could I ever go and help them? No. But I do feel that if you have a person in your dream that then there is a link. I feel that there's a link there that you may have to analyze it just a little bit more.
Okay, so you say that, but okay, so we're using Rude Hullet, but let's use another example. Say you had a dream about somebody that has passed, a famous person that has passed. Let's say, I don't know. Let's say Tommy Cooper.
Yeah.
And he's coming to you in a dream.
Yeah.
He might need your help.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I would analyze that.
It could be.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. But I think if it was, but then in that situation, I would believe that the dream would be, for example, you use Tommy Cooper, okay, as an example, but I think it's a good example because you can use it as an example to how to justify if you needed help. So say if you dreamt that you were sitting in the audience at the time he had his heart attack.
Yes.
Now that would signify to me that you would need to give help.
Yeah.
But if I was in my dream and then he was just telling me a joke, then I woke up, then I would probably analyze it differently because there's nothing to help really. Let's just read some of the comments coming in. I've had dreams where Jim is cheating on me. I've woke up so angry that I've been in the mood with him and I could swing for him. That's most mornings, isn't it? I used to be a terrible sleepwalker, had a full argument over leaving the cat out in a storm. Didn't even have a cat then.
Oh, brilliant.
See, but we haven't even touched the sleepwalking side of things.
No,
So I think we'll touch on that just in a minute because I think we have to on that. But that's what I'm saying. That sometimes the dreams are so realistic that you can't necessarily snap out of it, and we know it's not the other person that we've dreamed about's fault. We've all had sort of, but that would sort of, for me, Nat, that would sort of go along the lines of potentially of a nightmare, a bad dream. because of it's affecting you in a negative way. So I would see that as that because it's made you feel negative, it made you feel angry. That's how I would see it. Let's just touch on this one again. I used to have a terrible sleepwalker. I had a full argument over leaving the cat out in a storm. Didn't even have a cat at the time. So Steph is a sleepwalker. Now,
Is she still a sleepwalker? Or has that stopped?
I don't know if adults still do it. I don't know if I've
sleepwalk. Yeah. Yeah.
I thought it was only a younger generation
here.
thing.
Not here. The last time I woke up in a garden in Westcliff. Literally walked out the house and I was in the garden at Westcliff. And the path walked me up. And I was, 40, I suppose? 30, 35, 40.
That's weird. That's weird. I've only ever witnessed one sleepwalker before, and that was a friend when I went on holiday with him. And then I woke up in the middle of the night, turned around, and he was standing on the middle of his bed, looking at me. I was like,
"Have a knife over you like that, do they?"
Well, it was near enough like that. So I said, "Get down." He didn't answer me. I said, "Lay down." What are you doing? Wouldn't answer me. Scared the living crap out of me. So yeah, sleepwalking. Now, how does this have? Do you feel that this has any resemblance to spirit?
Well, I was going somewhere for that reason, wasn't I?
This is what I'm saying. This to me feels like
Something was
sleepwalking.
trying to take me somewhere.
You know, sleepwalking sound, you know, I'm not a dream analyst. I do a bit of dream interpretation. I understand it a little bit. But sleepwalking I've never really looked deep into the sleepwalking side of things. Now, sleepwalking, going by what you hear and all that, is probably more spiritual than a lot of people think.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you, actually. I do tend to agree.
Because it could go along the line of like partial trance, partial possession, partial, you know, channeling while you're asleep.
Yeah.
And, you know, I know people sometimes don't even realize, do they, that they've sleepwalked. They can get actually straight back into bed.
Yeah, but I wonder how far you could actually get sleepwalking. Do you get where I'm coming from? How far could you go? Could you get in your car?
I couldn't answer you.
I don't know. That's the rabbit hole I can't answer. I've not really ever looked at. That's one for next week, isn't it?
You know, sleepwalking. I think I feel that there's a good chance that there is some form of spiritual connection going on there that has more control than we're letting on, because I know children tend to sleepwalk quite often, don't they?
Yeah.
You tend to hear it more of a child thing than an adult thing. So for me, that's what I would be saying, is that we know that the links of children have the strong connection bond with spirit without knowing it, don't they? So there's not much.
Okay. Oh dear. I tell you what, I think somebody's sleepwalking around Facebook tonight. I think they must be asleep. So I'm just trying to work out. See, I've never really looked into sleepwalking as being a part of spiritualism, but then I don't know. At the time I sleepwalk, I was sleepwalking. I wasn't connecting like I am now, although I've always connected. I'm not. It's not what I've done since the age of about 40. I was never spiritual before. I'm not saying I wasn't spiritual before that, but I didn't practice it so much as I do now. I wouldn't go into that sort of thing. But, so I don't know, but it's something I've never ever thought of being linked to spiritual. But saying that, I think it is. I think it could be.
I'm back.
I know. I just keep talking every time you go now. It's
Jane has put someone in America got off a homicide charge by saying he killed his mother in law while sleepwalking. He drove from his to her house, killed her, then drove home. I think I have the details correct. Bit odd.
America. Sorry for our American listeners, but that could only happen in America. But
this is quite an apt one, because this is the most scariest thing that anybody witness. You know, if you've had sleep paralysis, after the first couple of times, it is bone, scary. Stuart, I suffer occasionally from sleep paralysis. That's scary. Some people suffer from this, also feel there is a presence in the room until you regain mobility. Now, I've had sleep paralysis. I understand the fear of it, because the strange thing about it all is that it is a matter of seconds, but it feels like an eternity that this happens. So what is virtually happening is your brain wakes up, but your body doesn't. So everything that you you're awake, but you can't move your mouth, you can't scream, you can't shout, but your body is not awake. So the pressure on your lungs become very heavy. It feels like there is a presence on top of you, suffocating you. You know you can't move. You know you can't run. It's a horrendous feeling. It's not nice at all. I do remember it once. I knew there was someone in the room, but I couldn't. This was in my old house, and I just knew I could. I tried to scream, and I knew that I couldn't get anyone's attention. And I tried, and I tried, and I tried, and I couldn't do it. And I could even hear the stairs, someone walking up the stairs. I could hear the like clunk, 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 clunk on the wooden stairs coming up the stairs. I knew someone was coming, and the fear that was going through my brain, because that's the only thing that was awake. It was horrendous feeling. It was scary as hell. I remember it, and then you're awake. You come to, and the more you delved into looking into sleep paralysis, what felt like an eternity is a matter of seconds. It is, 30 to 40 seconds, I think, is the average time of sleep paralysis is. But it feels like an hour, because obviously your chest is so heavy. And this is where they say demonic attacks are at their strongest, because you're at your weakest. And that's where they can harm. And that's what a lot of people will say. They feel that there is someone sitting on top of them, compressing their chest, because you can't breathe. So yeah, sleep paralysis isn't nice. It is, gives me just thinking about it, and I just hope it doesn't happen to anybody. I pray every night it doesn't happen, because I hate it. Could be into something there, guys, where this happened was very haunted. I was an adult when this happened, but my son sleepwalks too. I've also spoken about a ghost boy, but yeah, since connecting more, it has stopped to my knowledge.
It does, yeah. So yes, I wasn't connected when I was sleepwalking. I wasn't. Not that I wasn't connected, but not like I am today. Definitely not. I wasn't.
Yeah, I just think that's more the sleep.
I'm going to look into it. I will look into it next week. I'm going to try and look into it and see what I can find out a little bit more. I will.
But this is a very good one. Very, very good. What about astral projection? Is that spiritual? 100% that.
Yeah, and you're in control of that, though. You are in control of that, rather than just it happening. You sort of control that, don't you? And go down the path that you're going to astral project.
Yeah, and you tether off. I don't know if I've still got the book actually. If I have, it's a brilliant book. Oh, before I rip everything out.
Yeah, don't disconnect yourself again.
Where's it gone? There. Let's show you this book. This book is amazing. Anyone who's interested in astral projection. Now I've got everything tucked around me. I'm going to pull everything down. What a mare tonight. What a mare. What an absolute carnage of a show, but funny. Right, so this book here, Travel Far, and you want it's by Darrell E. Berry Jr. Okay, now that book there is a great way to show how you visualize found something in there and all, but I don't know what that is. But that tells you how to do it. It tells you a step-by-step guide, how to astral project very safely, how to tether off, and what you can do. You know, he goes as far as meeting his friends. There is a paragraph in there of where he meets his girlfriend when they're working away. I'll leave that to the rest of you to fill that in, what happens with astral projection within there. But yeah, if you're interested in it, this is great, and it is very spiritual. I know a lot of people that astral project, and you can go and meet each other. It's just like going to meet your friends in a park and going for a walk. But as Simon says, you are in control of everything.
Yeah.
I think loosely as well, when you do your meditations, you know, when you walk up the steps, you go and sit by the beaches or the seas or anything like that. That's a slight form of astral projection because you're witnessing yourself.
There. Yeah,
it's like
down on yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, an OB, it's like an out-of-body experience.
Yeah. You look in meditation and you look above yourself, and it'd be you and that person below you.
And that will knock people out of meditation very quickly sometimes. If they're not used to that, you know, looking at yourself from above or in front or behind, and you're like, holy shit, you know, what's gone on there? I'm seeing myself. Am I dead? No, you're having an out-of-body experience, which goes along the line of astral projection. And a lot of soul catchers as well will astral project without knowing. The energies will leave them in the middle of the night to go and collect all the lost souls that apparently loom the world. So they will use astral projections and things like that. That's more of a sort of a set thing within them. They don't necessarily know what's happening. So that, you know, that's my sort of take on that as well. Anything you want to add to it?
No, I think it's worth doing, and I think we all do it to a great extent, and not always know we're doing it. But yeah, good thing to do.
Yeah, I think it is great. So, is there any more questions, guys, on dreams, astral projections, or anything like that? Is there any more that you want answering?
So many, but...
Well, no. If there's people that want to put in their questions now, please feel free.
I will try and find out about this sleepwalking, because that does interest me. That is interesting me, because there's two people now on here that stopped after being more connected to spirit, which tends for me to think, yeah, okay. But I don't know how, unless James put in there that somebody in America has got off with a homicide by saying, so how far can you go?
Yeah.
How far can you go?
I've just clicked on spiritual meaning of sleepwalking. Okay, spiritual. Let's have a look. Let me just have a look to see. It's taking me to Betfair. Great. Agree. Right. And I'm going to put this post up for you so you can have a read of that, Simon, while I just check on that.
That happened to my mum after giving birth at home. She saw a man standing at the bottom of her bed like an old fisherman. But she was in his arms. But at the same time, whilst in his arms, she could see the bed. She could see herself in the bed. Yeah. And that, again, was probably somebody just looking after her. So, especially after giving birth.
Right. So, I think this will tally in with what you've been saying. Sorry, I've lost this. What happened? That happened to my mum after giving birth. She saw a man standing at the bottom of a bed like an old fisherman. She was in her arms. Right.
So she could see herself in the arms of an old fisherman. But
Yeah.
again, comfort.
Yeah, I would say so.
Comfort. I think you're probably more spiritual than you will know, guy.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Look into it more.
Hi, Jeff. Welcome to the show. Yeah, definitely. I'm with you on that one. I think Gay is very spiritual. Very, very spiritual. Right. So, what does sleepwalking symbolize in spiritual circles? Sleepwalking is often seen as a symbol of being lost or disconnected from one's true self. It is believed that during sleepwalking, the subconscious mind takes over the body and causes it to act out unconscious desires, fears, or unresolved issues. This can manifest in various ways, such as sleepwalking aimlessly, performing repetitive motions, or engaging in activities that one would not normally do when awake. Some spiritual practitioners view sleepwalking as a form of astral projection, where the soul or consciousness leaves the body and travels to other dimension realms. This interpretation suggests that sleepwalking can be a sign of a spiritual awakening or a call to explore one's inner world and connect with a higher state of consciousness.
Oh, that could make sense.
Some people view people sleepwalking see a sign of a spiritual awakening or a call to explore connection, high state. Sleepwalking may represent the opening of the third eye chakra or an activation of the pineal gland, which can lead to a heightened intuition, lucid dreaming, and other spiritual experiences. See, I think that's going along what you were saying.
Yeah,
I think that's very much going along, what you and Steph, you don't do it now. You've sort of connected to spirit. You haven't done it. So that to me would state that sort of symbolization of sleepwalking within the spiritual circles is what you were saying. It is an awakening, or,
at that time, I don't know what time. At that time in my life, I probably did need to. I obviously can't speak for Steph, but I probably did need to go on to find my spiritual path. I hadn't found it, that's for sure. So I'd not messed about with it, but I've done all the ghost hunting. I've done all the things that you would at that stage.
That's the main one. Looking at either way, in the early hours of morning, where the veil is at its thinnest, within this waking up at this time could be a call from the spirit. It could be a call from your team of guides and angels, or a call from your soul. So that one goes along the line of the spirit and soul are two different things. So, I believe that the point being is that I think there's a strong belief, and a stronger belief, that sleepwalking could be more the spiritual side of things. I do
Yeah.
apologise, guys.
Yeah, I think so. I do think so.
So, is there any more questions for any more on dreams, sleepwalking, sleep paralysis before I move on and go back to Dean's home
I will
yard?
try and find out a bit more next week. See what I can find out a bit more about sleepwalking and anything to do with dreams, but I'll do my best.
On the other hand, sleepwalking is also believed to be caused by the possession and manipulation of an evil spirit, demons, ghosts, witches, and black energies. Many people don't know that evil spirits can take possession of people and use possessed people to do what the evil spirit wants.
I was living with one at the time, so that probably didn't help.
But that also goes along with what Jane was saying. You would go along that sort of evilness.
Yeah.
Right. Let's go back to that question that was put up earlier on. Right. So a few weeks ago on the this show that Simon was speaking about, just do a little bit of a recap of what you saw, Simon, for everybody.
Right. Probably a month ago now, 5 weeks ago, I was driving home from one of our classes. And I started to go down. I can't remember the name of the road. You found it the other day, but I saw a light whiz across the road, probably about just overhead height, and go down this to the right hand side of the car. It moved along at quite a pace. I thought it was a torchlight, but it kept going. As I got nearer to what it was, it just went in front of me, probably about 20, 30 foot in front of me, and into this wooded area. I drove down the road, turned around where I could, come back to the wooded area. It was dark at the time. It was pitch black, actually, so that's 5 or 6 weeks ago. I didn't have a torch, but I walked into this wooded area, walked in as far as I could, did see something in the distance, but not torch or anything like that. Could feel something. So thought before I slip over or anything happens, I'll get back into the car. And then I told Russ, we were on the show, and I told Russ what had happened. And he said, go and have a look at it one morning and film it. Before coming to work, didn't you? That was a couple of weeks ago. So I put a little video. Oh, now he's gone, but I can still talk this bit. So I drove back the route. It was in the daylight. I made sure there was no street lights, although there was a house which I've shown on the video, but it lay quite a way back off the road. So you could see there was no lights, and there was some mirrors that Russ thought it could have been, but I was well past those mirrors when I come down that road. So mirrors turning out onto the main road is what Russ was saying it could have been, but this was well before that. Anyway, when I walked into the forest, I think it only goes around this. It's like a nature reserve, but so it probably only goes around in like a horseshoe. So the morning I walked down there, I got to the bit, I looked, I was filming, and there's a part that tells you there's an arrow that guides you to the left-hand side, but I wanted to go to the right-hand side, so I went down to the right-hand side, and I think that's what Dean is saying, what he could feel. And in the distance, I could see something. Wasn't a person, there was nobody about. Went on to where I could. Sort of got to where I could, got the feeling that there was something there. It was spiritual, I think. And so I turned and walked back to the car. I know a few people picked up on that video. And anyway, so I walked back to the car, said to Russ, done this. And Russ put the video up. The part of the story that doesn't show on there, as we come out of class a fortnight ago, Sandra was in the car with me. She drove to, I don't think she's on here tonight, Mrs. A, but we drove in my car down to the thing, and let's come home. We passed this person there. I'd shown Sandra. She come out before we went in. I'd shown her where we went, and we quickly walked in there. I didn't say anything to her which way to walk, but she immediately went the same way and said, "I don't like it, Si." Oh, so thanks, Sandra. So she said, "I don't like it, Si." So we had class. So we got back in the car. As we left that night, without me saying anything to Sandra or where it was, as we passed that same pass where the light shot in front of me first time, Sandra saw somebody, a figure standing to the right-hand side of the car, opposite the woods. Once again, we drove down, I turned around, we parked up, and there was nothing. So that's where we are now.
I'm just seeing if so if you just read out Sandra is in the chat.
Yeah, good.
I just want I can't get back up to it's what I want. I just want you to answer I've lost his message. I'm trying to see if I can find the video, and I might be able to play. I can't even find that's it. Dean's he felt cold. He watched the video, felt cold.
Yeah, one side of it, Dane, feels absolutely perfect. The bit that it points you to go to feels okay. But as I walked around that other side, it was bad. And I'm sure I saw something at the end of the thing when I was doing my walk down in the day. But I didn't have time and had to come out. But there's something not right there. We need to go back. And Sandra being my witness that we tried to get back, and we no more than, I don't know, probably a minute in turning the car around and parking up. And there was nothing there again.
I'm just seeing if I can actually find the video.
But it is such a... I don't know what it is. I can't tell you what it is yet, because I believe it's spiritual, because I think it wants to connect, but every time I seem to get close, it moves on. So a little bit like, I don't want to talk to you at the moment. But I can't imagine what it could be. I'm sure it is only a little horseshoe nature reserve, but don't know what it was before. And the weird thing is, I said to Sandra, there's a house up the road, and I don't know if you've seen it, Russ. It's derelict, and I don't know if it's got anything to do with that house. I keep getting drawn so much to that house. But I doubt if we'll ever get in there.
It does feel weird. Was it before Warrior?
No, after Warrior. Definitely after Warrior.
You might. I'm gonna try and get the video. I'm gonna try and get the video. And see if we can play it so people will be able to hear it.
Yeah, Sandra's convinced that someone was at the side of the road. Yeah, and it's the same as what I saw, Sandra. I was convinced it was, but if it's obviously that powerful to show itself, the question that I'm asking, why you're not communicating?
That's the key question here, isn't it?
Yeah. Why is it not communicating? Why is it just showing glimpses of itself? And that's what it's doing at the moment. It's not.
Have you got any idea on what this you might think this is?
No.
Anything at all?
No, because when I say male, it gives me. When I say female, it gives me. So, but I've got a feeling it comes from a house which is, I don't know how many yards up the road, but whether it was associated back in the day, don't know, mate. I don't know. I'm going to need to go there and just walk around.
It does. What you want to walk around the house?
The woods, first of all. I think the woods.
Right.
It's got to be the cops, because then I can see I haven't walked fully round it. Yeah, so if I was to walk round in a circle, then it might take me to near the back of that house. That's the feeling I'm getting, but I'm not sure yet.
This is really weird. I've actually managed to find the video, and it hasn't had no attachment to it.
Sandra, do you think it was? What do you think you saw? Again, Sandra's got someone. It was TikTok. You posted it, Russ.
Yeah, but I've tried to email it to us, and it's not having anything.
I can email it to you, can't I? Because I emailed it.
No, because you filmed it the wrong way, and I had to edit it to make it go the right way.
Yes.
So
That's about
right. So I'm just see that it's there. It is there. So let me go again then.
I don't get. I just wonder if Sandra, but you can't really see it. It doesn't show itself. Probably shows itself as a figure more than any features or a light.
Oh, it's too big to send. That's why I can't send it. So I do apologise. I can't play the video for anybody. Scraps that idea. It was I can't show the video. I normally could post it onto here, and I just can't get it onto there. But it was on TikTok. It was on TikTok. It was on Facebook. As you say, Dean saw it as well. So and he said he felt cold, and I think it'd be worth definitely a little walk around.
I think Duncan also saw it. Remember Duncan used to be in our group.
Yeah.
And he said he could see something at the far end of the forest.
And as this coming, I'll link it back to what we can try. Have you? Is this come into your dream as well?
No.
So you haven't dreamed about this?
Radar Hill. See, that's what I thought it might be about. Radar Hill. It's not. This is something's telling me that it's separate. But then I don't. I'm not going to say it's definitely not because I don't know yet. I don't know. And there he's gone again. Yeah, I don't know if we got just looking for the video, but it's disappeared from over. Yeah, Sandra, Russ keeps disappearing on and off. I don't know if you've been on all night, but we keep having this. But it is a weird place. I don't know what was there before. Again, it's something I need to try and look into. I just get a whole list to do and never get around to doing much of it because I'm finding other things. But no doubt, I might see if I can get there a little bit earlier on Sunday and have another little walk around. Might see if I can walk the whole horseshoe this time. Because perhaps it's at the back of the woods. I don't know. He seems to be taking quite a while to get back on there, doesn't he? But I'm sure he'll be back in a minute. Now Natalie's put it on there, but Mr. Russ's. Thanks, Nat. I take it's the link. If anybody wants to have a look at it on TikTok. Don't know. Try and make restarting. Russ is now restarting, so I don't know how long we're going to be. Don't think you should go on. Steph, I'd agree with you, but I've got to do that whole circle because I've got a feeling at the back of that, as if I walk round to that side, there's a good side and a bad side. So if I get through the bad side, I should be all right coming back on the good side, hopefully. But yeah, I might try giving it a walk in. I might definitely try giving it a walk in. But I go to a lot of places. Steph, honestly, I'm not gonna. I don't know. Do I get the feeling? Maybe. You're back.
I'm back. I'm back. I don't know what's going on. I generally do not know what is going on. It's crazy. It's a crazy. Yeah, I just generally don't know what is going on at the moment. It's just stupid at the moment. It really is. Absolutely. It's just weird. I don't know what's going on. I can't stop it. As I say, I've watched the video. I'm sort of with what people have been saying. Cold shivers. Yeah, I think we should all go down there and have a look. Definitely.
Parking. That's the only thing down there. There's nowhere to really park up.
You get 2 cars on the front of that.
Yeah, 2 cars you would, yes.
But no, I agree, Nat. I think it definitely needs looking at.
Especially that, because especially as Sandra's seen it. As Sandra saw that as well. And in the same place. It's in the same place. But
how tall is this? Sorry, how tall is this thing?
Well, I would say it's probably 8 foot.
In the air.
Yeah. That's the light. That was the light.
Very weird, isn't it? It's so weird.
Yeah. Again. I reckon we might probably be giving this up in a minute because he's disappeared again. But yeah, but anybody, Steph, if you get a chance, go down and have a look at it yourself. Obviously not on your own, but it's probably a lovely walk in the day, actually. But it doesn't feel very nice. It really doesn't feel. One way does. One way's all right. And perhaps I thought perhaps it was because I'm going anti-clockwise. But if you go clockwise, it seems to be all right. And it points you off to the left, and I want to go to the right. And I think Sandra got a taste of blood. Sandra, if my memory serves me right, did you not get a taste of blood when you were in the forest? I hope you can still hear me. Could be talking to myself here. I'm sure I'm right. But I think Sandra actually got a taste of blood in her mouth as well. Yes. And sick too. Yes. Because that's when we come out, wasn't it? Yeah. I've only just remembered that bit, Russ, but Sandra got the taste of blood and she felt quite sick too. But that's before she saw the figure. I took her in there before we left that evening.
So just has anyone been there after dark?
Yeah, me.
Just you on your own?
Yeah.
See, I would say that if it was anything to harm, that you wouldn't have gone in there.
I didn't go fully in there because I didn't have a torch.
No, but it didn't matter what. At the end of the day, I don't. If you felt in danger, there is no way you would have stopped.
No, you're probably right.
No way. You just wouldn't have done it because I know what your thought pattern is. You know, if it was Jay,
oh yeah.
Totally. You know, you can't. You know, it's just. But I think you. I don't think your guides would have let you in there if they.
But they probably didn't because I didn't have a torch and I knew I wouldn't go any further with me steady on my feet.
No, but still, you stopped that vehicle and you got out at 10 o'clock at night to walk into a forest. If there was something
true.
bad there, I don't think your team would have even took a punt to let you go in there.
No, that's true. Yeah, you're probably right.
That's how it makes me feel.
Yeah, you could be right. So it could be quite. What's the word? Not in it. No, it's gone again. It could be quite innocent, or it could just be somebody needing my help. But then I would think if it was somebody needing my help, they would talk to me. They would let me know if they were male, female, child, boy, girl, animal. They're not doing that to me yet, and they would have done by now. I'm sure. That's the only thing I will say. I don't know, Sandra. How did you feel?
This is crazy.
I know.
This is crazy. Safe bets because I've just had an alert come up on the on the Daily Mail. Facebook, WhatsApp, and Instagram are down.
Right. Okay.
Meta stabilization project, Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook Messenger are all experience global outages. It seems to have been ramped up. So something is obviously going on. Thousands of reported WhatsApp outages recommended nationally, Mexico, Colombia, Germany, UK. So we are having quite big outages with everything at the moment. So while I'm here and while we're talking to everyone, I think it's safe bet to say that we'll just end the show 15 minutes early because dipping in and out off and on is just not great for anyone. We can't even get a conversation without me leaving. So best thing to do, obviously,
you pretty well get hour and 45 out of it, actually.
Yeah, to be fair, but it looks like everything's being experienced. WhatsApp, Facebook, all the Meta services are having a issue as well. So that's on the Daily Mail. That's just come up on my screen as we speak. 21:34. So 5 minutes ago. So let's just say goodbye to everybody. So we are here. We will be back next week. Hopefully that the Facebook problem has been sorted and the YouTube and everything like that has been sorted. So I do apologize for the
it's a shame, but I will keep you posted, and I will go back in at some point this week. I will go back in. Try and make some sense of it. I will look at sleepwalking and other bits that I've got there. So I'll look at that way.
All right then, guys. Take care, everybody. Stay safe, and we'll see you all next week. Thank you for everybody that has listened over on Pulse Talk Radio as well. I do apologise because obviously the Facebook as our visual Pulse Talk has verbally heard me swearing because I did forget a couple of times that I was live on Facebook and I said a few curse words. So I do apologise for anybody that I offended over on Pulse Talk Radio with my curse words. But take care, everybody, on Pulse Talk Radio, and we'll see you all again next week.
See you later.
Thank you, everybody, once again on Facebook. We do apologise for the randomness.
Thanks for bearing with
it. Hopefully it stabilises next week. Take care, everybody, and we'll see you soon.
Good night.